commentator and diversity expert Omékongo Dibinga joining us to break down what happens next in the struggle for justice for Breonna Taylor. So first of all, quickly break down what happened to Breonna and why it's caused so much outrage across the United States and world.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. And what happened was we had police in Louisville, Kentucky, serving a no-knock warrant at the home of Breonna Taylor, and they were looking for a particular individual, not her. They actually already have the suspect in custody, yet they still executed this no-knock warrant while Breonna was sleeping with her boyfriend in her underwear after they had watched some movies. And according to her ex-boyfriend, her boyfriend, they didn't announce themselves, and when he heard a break-in, he started to fire. He was legally licensed to have his gun, and then they started shooting into the house and shot 20 times, killing her. This is a woman who was a former EMT, no problems with the law, nothing like that, and she was killed. They played all types of games with where her body was when her mother came to find her. And of course, that since there was no video, people couldn't really see it and be as shocked as they were with a killing of George Floyd or an Ahmaud Arbery. But this happened 4 months ago. And now it turns out that the police lied to the judge as it relates to getting the actual warrant. And once again, they already had the suspect in custody. So we are protesting because we want to raise awareness that her life mattered and that we need to make sure that these officers are brought to justice. One has been fired, but to date, there have been no arrests.
Right, so, and I want to get to that in a little bit, but tell us about the settlement that Breonna Taylor's family is receiving. It goes beyond just money, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And so many of us, as we understand, are fixated on the money. But as you mentioned, there are several reforms that are being initiated. Before the settlement, they already scrapped no-knock warrants. They also are starting to require that these officers actually live in the community. That was part of the settlement because many of us who live in these neighborhoods feel like the police sometimes are more of an occupying force. They come in, police us, and then go home to their neighborhoods. Also more support and resources towards social workers in the community so that police are not being called to deal with mental health issues or mental disability issues. That's also been put in there. And then also looking for an independent investigator to look at these situations when they happen, because the relationship with the prosecutors and the police is a serious problem in the United States, where prosecutors are too often not willing to bring up charges with the police because they actually work in tangent with them on so many other cases. So we need independent investigators at these times as well.
So how does Breonna's family and her advocates feel about this settlement? Do they see this as enough?
No, not at all. Her mother and sister and other family members, they said this is the beginning of the process. They are also calling for the officers to be arrested and to face charges. And many of us who are in the movement fighting for justice for her, we're also saying that her family, yes, deserves this settlement, but Breonna and the people fighting for her deserve an arrest, because justice delayed is justice denied. And we are 4 months into this. We want more.
So we're running out of time here, but give us a quick update about what's happening to the police officers who shot Breonna. What's going to happen to them in terms of criminal charges?
Well, currently, right now, we see the the state prosecutor is dragging his feet right now. There have been no arrests, and one has been fired. And the ones who are still there are currently receiving their paychecks and going about their business. So we are going to keep fighting, keep protesting, and keep raising awareness until an arrest is made. But as it stands right now, nothing is happening to them, and they are walking around the street scot-free.
Well, obviously, it's just such a devastating story, and obviously one that needs to be righted. Thank you so much for joining us and breaking that down so succinctly and clearly. I'm sure that we'll be having you back soon, because there is more coverage that is necessary on this story.